I just started the recording. So if you could back up a little. Put it all aside, the other documents.
Okay.
Now, one thing that you women are going to have to do, okay, if you don't have a husband in the process, you're going to have to read the Book of Ruth.
Ah, yes, I had that on my agenda.
Yeah, well, it better be at the top of your agenda because you need to understand that you're going to have to come in there because, see, you need to establish tribal relationships with the government.
Okay.
And a woman can't be a tribe.
Oh, really?
Think about it.
Right.
Oh, great.
Okay? Common sense. Logic. They need to have a chief in the tribe. So basically the Book of Ruth, if you have a dead husband, if you don't have a husband, then you have to revert to your father. But that's the tribe you have to come in under and claim that you're coming in under your father's tribe.
Okay.
At least that's the way I would think of logically it has to be done. Or you get under the protection of somebody else's tribe. You need to go into Anderson's dictionary and read about tribe and then about Indian in Anderson's dictionary.
Not Valentine's.
I said Anderson's dictionary, okay?
I don't have an Anderson's dictionary. That's why I was
then
asking.
get it, okay?
Online.
It's available.
There's a link to it in the link section.
Oh, we have that too? Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Well, I mean, I have a boyfriend, but we live together. We're not married.
Well, get him to give you a damn ring and marry him. God damn it. You women, basically, and people out here, you try and destroy something that basically is supposed to be the truth and everything, and then you want all your rights and everything, and you can't have your rights unless you do it right.
Okay.
You sit and argue about little nitpicky things, and you don't put any logic, sense into it. Yes, you've been ingrained not to think logically, but you need to start thinking logically if you want out of the system. You need to stop listening to half these other people out here that say, oh, I got this over here, I did the 1099s. We're not doing any of those damn forms. Because as an Indian, American Indian, you don't owe taxes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But you have to come in and establish your tribal relationship with the government. That's what is called out in both tribe definition in Anderson's dictionary and also in the definition for Indians.
But I can go in under my father if I'm not married right now, right?
What?
I can go in under my father if I choose to and not be married also, right?
Yes, if you're not married, then you would revert back to your father. That's what I'm saying. Read the Book of Ruth.
I will. I'll read the Book of Ruth. Mm-hmm. I'll do it tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Otherwise, you just go in and you claim your assets, but you're still going to be into the public you're still going to be out here on the public reservation and held accountable for all of the public laws.
Because I'm not married?
Because you do not have a tribe.
Oh, okay. So I don't have a tribe, and I have to be a public Indian until I don't know.
Yes, you just sit down and think about this logically, okay?
Okay, yeah.
What makes sense, okay?
Right.
Like I said, if nothing else, maybe you can get in under somebody else's tribe, because that's basically what we're supposed to do, is take care of the widows and the homeless. That's at least what the Bible calls out for.
Okay.
So there are exemptions in this process, but you should be able to come in and still make your claim for certain items from your account using the OST 01-004 form and get some of your funds out. I went over that last night.
Yeah,
I went over the 0003 form last night also.
Right, I got that today.
Okay, and you don't have to say anything. Okay?
You said I could be a tribe of one, so I didn't know that was male or female, so I apologize. I didn't know.
You have to have a chief in the tribe. You got to think about this. A tribe, basically, you have to have a chief in the tribe, because it's not really a tribe in the true sense of a tribe unless you have a chief in there. That's why the laws were set up that basically women were not to be able to vote in this country. But you can vote in the public reservation out here the way they have it set up now. But see, once a man gets established as he is the chief of his tribe, then he also can come in and claim his homestead, and he also puts a claim in for his American Indian ambassadorship after he gets his tribal relationship with the government reestablished. And it's under treaty laws, the Declaration of Independence, the Constitution, the Articles of Confederation, and the Bill of Rights. A man has to have two accounts. Okay? To be able to have the protections given to him by the United States government. One is his birthing account. The second one is the selective service account. Because if you read in the definition, to obtain the protections of the government, you had to do a qualified or some obligation, and that was the 7-year obligation under the selective service number to be available for military service if called upon.
So, Patrick, even if we just registered for selective service, it's almost the same as serving.
As soon as you turned 25, your obligation was up if they didn't call you.
Right.
Okay.
But we still filled it out. We still filled out the selective
Yes,
service.
you had to have filled it out. Now, if you did not fill it out, then you're not going to get the protections.
Well, he was in the military.
What?
He was in the military.
Who was?
My boyfriend. He's getting on the call
I don't
now.
give a shit about your boyfriend, okay? What the hell are you doing throwing him in the damn picture?
So do you recommend
about registering for the select?
Is he on this call?
He's coming on now, yeah.
Well, he better get on the call and basically figure out what the hell to do and listen to this damn stuff if he wants out of the damn system. Then he takes care of you, okay?
Mhm.
But you had to, when you read the definitions, and that's what I've been telling you people, you need to read the words and understand what the words say. And the law is in the words. That's why they're called law dictionaries. Okay? You're not going to find anything out there in the codes. They're going to deceive you in the codes. The codes are all for the public nitwits that want to stay in the nitwit system. The megalomania system, whatever they'll call it. The system of lunatics. You want out of the system? We found the door to get out finally. Under this office of special trustee to at least get access to our tribal funds. And then if you have your qualifications, then you can go and become a tribe on your own private reservation. Just like all the native Indians on their native reservations. And then, see, you would get ambassador status because when you come out of your reservation onto the public reservation, you are basically an alien. Okay? Your selective service or the Social Security number is just a processing number. Okay? It is not really a trust, but it allows them to use our stuff in a trust status. There is no trust in this country. I've said that all along. Everybody out here is to put their hand in your back pocket, and that is not trusting. You turn around and basically we might have to do an update SS5. Instead of having U.S. citizen marked there in block 5 or 6, I can't remember which one it is, you would mark alien allowed to work. Then you would go to the next one down, and you would mark American Indian.
Yeah.
And get that into the system. You just changed your status there for that Social Security account. And then also when we go through this Office of Special Trustee, we would put a notice into them that nobody is to use that Social Security number unless we give full authorization to it. But everything else right now is to be terminated. All of these adhesion contracts are to be terminated because you cannot be the tenant while you're the landlord in the process. That's a maxim of law. Then everything has to go back to the source. And basically, you are the source of all items in this country. Unless you stay on the public reservation and then you're under their jurisdiction. And they will use and abuse you as much as possible over there.
Hey, Patrick, did you say all adhesion contracts are supposed to be voided or just nulled?
They will be basically voided out.
Yeah, voided out.
They're invalid anyway, okay?
Right.
Just from the basic principle of landlord and tenant. You can't be both.
Yeah. And you can't insure the dead either. Everything's a corporate means to make incorporate means to make dead.
Yeah, you're alive.
Right.
Okay? You're an ESSE.
ESSE.
Yes, look it up.
I will.
NESSE. It means alive.
Right, I got it. I'll look it up. That's what I'm doing. That's the whole key to it, is get familiar with the words. If you study all the words, you won't screw up.
Yeah, and then you just have to put the puzzle together, put the words in the right sequence to where they mean something.
Right. Your sentence is like a ship. It's carrying cargo to arrive at a different place.
Yeah, you're giving your order. So you've got to have the order down in the right retrospect. All of those, you get a tax bill. Basically, they are trust, whatever that damn 003 form says.
Withdraw?
At the very end, okay? You take your tribal funds from that trust, whatever, I can't remember what the word is.
Trust status?
Trust status, okay? See, all taxes have to come back to the source. So when they send you a tax bill, you turn around and claim it with that 003 form and send it into the Office of Special Trustee. So you're claiming that. That way, that will cancel the debt that's owed. See, what most people are getting thrown in jail is because they're not canceling the debt.
Yeah, they mostly don't understand the whole flow process.
Yeah, but they will try and get, if you give them something, then they won't prosecute you. But that doesn't mean the debt goes away. The debt's still there, but they just won't prosecute you because you gave them a gift to try and buy your way out of going to jail when you make a payment for taxes. But the debt keeps climbing. To do it right, you have to come in and cancel that debt by claiming it. Because it's debt that's owed to you anyway. But they try and get you on the other side of the looking glass, and all you're doing is buying your way out of going to jail by paying the taxes, by gifting something to them, bribing them.
Right.
See, you got to think about these things logically, okay? Yeah. What works? What makes sense in this whole damn thing that is so damn screwed up that it's ridiculous, but basically there is some rhyme and reason to this whole madness. You have two account numbers. A woman basically has one. Okay? So utilize those account numbers. You do not go to any other accounts. Somebody tries to say, hey, we got money out of this account over here. Use this number. You haven't been authorized to use that number. You use that number, and there's a good chance you're going to go to jail because you aren't authorized to use that number, even though they say you are, your good friend, or whatever. There's a lot of misinformation out here from the Moors, from the Postmaster General, from a lot of these other gurus out here that have been deceiving the hell out of people, charging outlandish fees. Writing documents, using documents that others have already written up there to try and help people for free. Like 90% of my paperwork out here, come to find out there are other people that are using it. Some are getting some remedy with it, but they never come back and give any credit back to me for the documents that I wrote for them. That's how bad and screwed up this whole damn country is. There is no damn trust in this country, not even amongst half the people that you know, okay? And that's why I say, you don't even trust me. You go and check it out. You have to convince yourself that it's right. I've already convinced myself. Now, it's you that have to convince yourself because you're responsible for yourself. I'm not responsible for you. Okay, you guys can go ahead and talk.
So what did you guys finally say about the document that was the preemptive entry? You called it something that was somewhere else. I don't know what. I kind of lost you on that.
Yeah, the reservation reentry form?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main one that's been posted lately.
Yes.
Yes, it's in its doc format.
Yeah, I posted the doc format today. The PDF came out on the 31st. So that's 2 days ago. But it looks like we
That's
need...
not the cover sheet for the facts, is it? It's called the American Indian Reservation Preemption of Reentry Homestead.
I said I'll send Tom an update one that'll be a one-page document that'll basically cover all of those items, okay?
Okay. I just was listening before the, at the beginning of the call.
You can go in and read those documents so you sort of can try and get an understanding, but don't do anything with them.
Right. not going to do anything. If I do anything, I'll talk to you and ask questions before I do. Or I'll talk on the group, but I'll talk to you guys.
But right now, you should be able to put in a fax in the morning for either the old 4 or the old 3 form.
Right. I got it.
I went over those last night.
Right. We talked about it yesterday, yeah. I got those downloaded.
So we can put those in without any preparation then. Great. And Patrick will be coming out with the document of how we can claim our ambassadorship too. But
Okay,
it looks like we should get the SS outside and review that.
He also said about updating. I heard him talking about updating the SS5. That would be important too.
And that's what I want to ask him about. If that's the first step that has to be done, apparently.
Well,
and that form has to be
That's
filled
why we're talking
out.
amongst ourselves, because we're using our reason, and he wants us to think it through. We don't have to be spoon-fed by Patrick. He doesn't like that. We're supposed to talk amongst ourselves and figure it out.
Okay.
Doesn't it make sense to do that? If you're going to change yourself into a different category, you'd want to do that.
Exactly. And I'm working on that now, that form first before I do any of the other stuff. So if anyone wants to share.
I forgot your name. You're the gal from Pennsylvania, right?
No, I'm in California, Steve. It's Keto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You sound like the
LA.
other gal from Pennsylvania.
I know. It's funny. I heard other people's voice. I'm like, well, that sounds like me. But it's not.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll just mute because I'm doing some stuff here.
Yeah, if it makes sense, and there's a unanimous, concurrence to agree to something like that, then that's one of the things we should put on our checklist. That's why we have a group, so we can brainstorm stuff like this. And Patrick's going to be a lot happier if he doesn't have to answer every little question that pops in our head.
Before you submit your form, 0003, make sure you understand. Must.
Say again, understand what? Much?
Read the form. Follow the directions at the bottom. It says submit the referendum,
tribal resolution,
or the resolution. Referendum is already taken care of by the Constitution, Article 10, but the resolution, you've got to put one in, or at least that was my thought. I'm gone.
And who is that mystery man?
Harold.
Who?
Harold.
Harold? Gerald?
Bill.
Yeah.
From South Carolina.
Is it Bill?
No, that's not
Harold.
Bill Smith.
That was Harold.
And who's giggling there? I want to know everyone that's on this phone
for
call.
tribal resolution, I could just, we could say, I'm the head of the tribe. I resolve to do this. The whole tribe agrees.
So this form is not as easy as it looks.
Yes, it's the B section that we have to really give it thought as to exactly what needs to be done. And I think that's what Patrick is working on right now.
So what numbers do we fill out on Section B?
The ones that apply. Well, we wouldn't be doing number 4, would we? Legal opinion by an attorney. We don't have an attorney. We don't need his opinion.
So we just do the tribal resolution and the referendum?
Well, I would think that because of what we're doing in number 6 and 9, that we would always be checking number 6 because we're submitting this for judgment or settlement funds, and act setting out the use of the funds. So we have to state what these funds are for.
Did you say you're stating what the funds are for? Is that what you said?
I was reading what number 6 says.
Yeah, like we don't need
judgment,
number.
For judgment or settlement funds, act setting out use of the funds. That means we have to state the act that we implemented to set out to do the funds. I don't think it means that we have to cite a statute or a code allowing us to do it.
Are you talking about number 6 on 003?
B6.
Yeah, section B.
B6. Okay, I didn't hear that.
As Harold pointed out, we need to go through all those 7 choices and determine which ones apply.
We might do number 3, right, on the section B, the formal agreement.
No. Are we going to invest these?
No.
You know, are you going to go to J.P. Morgan and invest all this stuff in J.P. Morgan?
Hope not.
So if you, like, say we do pick 6, say I'm going to build a flying yacht. I'm going to say I'm going to build a flying yacht. Right?
Yes.
Act setting out use of funds. Yeah. I'll say if I want to put a roof on my house, I'll say I put a new installation of new roof on house.
Yes, but you have to, by the act, I believe that means you have to indicate that there was a decision to do that. Not just a wish to do that, but that the tribe decided to do that.
That's the resolution.
No, the resolution, I believe, would be just the fact that you have the authority to do this.
Right, and that's what the word is. It's like it's like a concurrent of a body or a political body or something like that. That, you know, we got to know what that word resolution is.
Right.
Yeah, and the referendum's backed by the 10th Amendment, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you could say the tribe agrees to the 10th Amendment. And adopts it as their protection.
Excuse me, I got to take a call, guys.
What about the management plan?
Well, I would imagine you need that if you're going to start doing an investment program. If you read elsewhere on the OST website, their idea is that the primary use of these withdrawal funds is that the tribe no longer wants to use the government, the OST, to invest the funds, that it's going to do it itself.
All right.
And so they want to know details of how you're going to do better than they are.
Hey, Thomas?
Yes.
I've been working and listening as I'm working, and if I understand this correctly, we need to justify why we want the money and what it's going to go for?
That's the way I read the list here.
That seems kind of contrary if they owe us the money for back lease or rent or taxes or whatever we want to refer to it as.
Well,
we're the ones
treat it as the memo line on a check.
Right. I don't put anything on the memo line.
Oh, I do. Water, electricity.
I'm a little bit more rebellious, I suppose. Anyway, that was my 2 cents. I need to get back to work here.
Okay. Yeah, Harold is right. The rest of the form is pretty easy, and it's B that I think Patrick is working on the additional documentation to firm that all up. And I gather that and as part of that thinking, he's reviewing and actually really simplifying those previous 2 documents that we thought we were going to be sending in, the homestead and the preemption of our birth land. That's why I said don't worry about that. I think part of the intent of his reviewing all of that is to take care of the Section B down here. Now, another issue that we have to look at was the one where if someone doesn't have a cooperative father or husband, how do they join another tribe?
Yeah.
My immediate thought is that one of us volunteer to invite her into our tribe for these purposes. That was a big size, Tawana.
Yeah, he kind of stressed me out with that one.
Yeah, but the maxim that he uses all along is go with what you got. So we have to figure out how to go with what we got. And that would be one way of doing it.
Well, he also said your tribe is where you are. So which also means finding someone in my vicinity.
That would be preferable.
Yeah, well, no, I don't know
whether
it's I don't know anybody. Yeah, oh, wow. I thought this was a slam dunk. I really did.
Well, maybe we can have mail order tribes or email order tribes.
This is another aspect that I'm going to be working on, and that is my mom is a widower. I'm the oldest son.
Yeah.
So I will be taking care of my mom in that regard. So that's another way to think of it as a possibility.
My son is 14.
I'm probably the youngest person on this call.
That's a good thing. That means you didn't stay a slave as long as the rest of us.
Can you people hear?
Oh,
My name's Samuel from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
My girlfriend and I are married, so she can't get in on the private side as an Indian because she can't do it under her father since he's not either. She would have to marry me in order to do it, I heard earlier, but do we have to get married to the public side with the registration and the whole nine, or can we get married on the private side and then...
Well, I'm not sure if Patrick meant that you actually have to get married to join another tribe. You can discuss that with them. You know, maybe someone can invite her into another tribe. You could invite her into your tribe.
Okay.
Now, it looks like we had a power outage here. All of a sudden, the whole conference dropped out on me, and I got disconnected from the call, but the meeting dashboard disappeared. But it looks like everybody is on still.
So you're saying everyone else is off the call?
Well, I hear you.
I'm here.
I hear me. I heard Tawana. I guess Isaac is still there.
Yeah, how many people are on?
Well, it says that, let me get up here. It says that 18 people are on the call.
I think a lot of us like to mute out because of noise.
Right.
And some people just don't want to be known they're listening.
There's a lot of that going on.
Touche.
So Patrick got off, I'm taking it?
Yes, but yeah, I think he'll be back. Yeah, I took the 3 and 4 form, and I basically filled it out with everything except the dollar amounts and the dates, so that I basically have a blank that I can submit whenever I want. Also I had to leave number 6 blank because it could be either a court case for a judgment or a settlement with the Social Security number. But you can sort of prepare. Now the 3 form is not a fillable PDF, but you can go on pdfescape.com and you can type into it there. The 4 form is a fillable one, so that's not hard to do. And I gather from what he said that we can submit some of these 3s and 4s right away.
Providing you have a penis.
No. Because he's sort of straightening out the tribal status because that's what he was talking about. We have to set up our tribal relationships.
Yeah, but he was telling us you can be a tribe of 1.
That's what he said before, but I think he had to revise that when he realized, that
it needs a chief.
Yeah, it needs a chief. Yeah.
Yeah.
So establishing the tribal relationship is basically the first thing in this operation?
Well, by establishing the tribal relationship, I presume that means that you have to get the office of special trustee to accept us as a tribe. And that's basically what this stuff on Form 3, Section B is about, is establishing our relationship as a tribe and our status with the trustee.
Yeah, they need to accept those forms, right?
Well, they're going to either accept them or reject them when we turn them in. Now, from what I gather from the website, they invite you to call. So what he said yesterday I think works. If you have a lot of these questions, call them up. I gather they're going to be rather friendly about it. There's an FAQ out on the OST site, and I posted the link to that in the Skype group. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Go in and read that.
Yeah, that frequently asked questions page is pretty awesome. I didn't see anything in there with relation to, the sex of an individual being mentioned. But it's very, very informative. I've actually got the two of them ready. I was planning to send in the morning, but I guess we're not right now because he's forwarding us another example.
Just before he dropped off, he did say that we could send in our 3s and 4s while we're getting the rest of it ready. Let's double check with him on that.
We can still send in our put orders and our what's it called?
Call. We no longer would need the call with this system. We do the call by doing a withdrawal on Form 3.
Well, did anybody get any remedy with the put orders anyway? I didn't.
Well, but did we send it to the right person? And
I sent it to several different places.
Right. Just about when I was ready to set up the put order, the thing switched. So we'll have. I suspect that the put orders are only really good, I think, for turning in receipts. What I gather with this Form 3, we don't turn in receipts or pay bills off with this. And that's what the put orders were doing, is the cashing in receipts and paying bills.
Well, the Form 4 has a third-party payment where you could send a payment to a third party.
Yeah.
Right. But this is the yes, I guess you could do that, or you could just withdraw funds and pay cash for stuff too. But then you get receipts, and you want to get the money back to recycle it. I think we can still be doing dumpster diving for the receipts.
I got plenty.
Have you guys been hearing stories about the revalue?
I don't pay attention to that.
Don't even bring it up, Steve.
Oh, okay. I just thought you guys were talking about all this money. I keep hearing all that stuff. I just wondered what you guys thought about it. They say all this stuff's going to happen next week or something.
Just let it go out one ear,
and in the other
in one ear and out the other, and don't even try and trap it in the middle.
Right.
Okay. You haven't got time to worry about that, okay?
Right. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to money anyhow.
But, no, that's what 90% of the people out here were worrying about. Everything else that you have no control over, okay? So you don't even bring it up. You just let that stay off to the side. You concentrate on what you can take care of.
Right.
I've gone over this before and
it's all
before,
here. I know.
okay?
I know what you're saying.
Now, on this whole deal about the put orders, okay? We've got the we got the 0003 form, okay, which is for the trust set off, okay? So you turn around and you take your receipts and you submit them in with that into this office of special trustee. Those receipts, you make them up as an invoice like what I had there, and you send them in there. they will go and get the funds back from the corporations that have been borrowing, because, like I said before, you have to know how a corporation operates. They have to zero their books at the end of the year. So where do they get the money to start up? The banks ain't got no money to give them.
From the Treasury.
We're the only accounts out here that have any damn money in them, any value. So they have to come in against our accounts by way of the Treasury to basically put liens against our accounts. Then they owe the Treasury the funds back at the end of the year for what they borrowed. So all of these receipts that you get are receipts in transit. You're allowed to walk out of the store for paying for it, but it's not a settled item yet. So you have to take those receipts and send those into this office of special trustee. He can turn around and process them through to bring the funds back to you as the source of all funds. And see, everything has to go back to the source. The movie Matrix said that. The Lone Ranger said that. The silver, they had to go to the source to find the silver. And then where did the silver get dumped at in the end of the movie? Back into the river that was tied to the source of the silver. So everything has to go back to the source, and you are the source. So you take your receipts and you put them in with that 0003 form. You turn around and you can get a one-time fund. I went through that last night. Listen to that call from last night about the 0004 form. You can do it third party. You can basically have a check made out of your account here and sent to the car dealership. But I would just as soon have a couple $1 million on a debit card and basically go in there and basically slap the debit card down and buy the vehicle, get the receipt, and then turn it in. Why make it a two-step process? Have the when you want something, you want it. I want it now. I don't want to wait 2 or 3 days for them to send a check out.
It's the debit card, right?
You get the debit card.
Yep.
You can go online. Basically, Jeff went on there and basically, even I think it'll show you somewhat what the debit card looks like. There is no fees attached to this debit card unless you go to an ATM machine or you go to another bank and process it through, and then they will charge you a transferring fee. I don't know what more we can try and tell you people, okay?
Since you're back on, Pat, my primary concern is my girlfriend and I aren't married. For her to get in my tribe, we have to get married. Now, can I do that on the private side without a registration?
You can basically absorb her into your tribe, okay? You just make a flat statement. I'm basically bringing this squaw into my tribe.
Okay. I get you. That works.
Yeah, I mean, basically you can go down and get a half dozen homeless women and bring them into your tribe. Take care of them.
Wow.
You provide them the protections now. You don't have to give them all sex, though.
Not unless you want to, of course.
Unless they want to.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Hard enough convincing one.
Hell, the damn religions have been doing this for eons. Convents in the Roman Catholic Church. Then all the bishops and basically, I don't know, the deacons and everything else basically are down there pouring around with the damn people in the damn convents. But that's all okay. Yeah. We ain't going to go to hell over that one. Damn pious asses. You need to think about this stuff logically. And that's what I've been trying to stress for years. If it's not logical, as Mr. Spock said, it ain't right. Yeah, what do you have to do? You have to basically make a statement that you are going to reestablish tribal relationships with the government. When you read the definition of Indian and tribe, that's one of the key items. If you fulfilled all of your obligations, now they're under their obligation under the treaties and under the Constitution and Declaration of Independence and everything else out here. And if you were born in this country, you were born an American Indian. Not a native Indian, but an American Indian. Unless you have some native Indian lineage in your blood.
And if you do?
Well, then you go and check out the tribe that basically has that name out there. See, if you do, you can go and try and get absorbed into the Cherokee Nation if you got Cherokee blood.
Blackfeet.
Yeah, if they've got a reservation, you can basically go and petition to get absorbed into their tribe under their protections. Then you'd also have a claim against the native reservation accounts, too.
Which dictionary did you use?
There's more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
Okay? As the old saying goes. There's all sorts of different remedies. You have to look at which one would be applicable to your situation. Do you have more than one option? In a lot of cases, a lot of people do have more than one option, and you've got to look at those. Go ahead. Somebody had a question?
Oh, I just wondered which dictionary you used for the definition of Indian
Anderson's.
tribe. Was that like Blacks, or did you use Ballantyne's, or what?
Anderson's.
Okay, I got that, yeah.
Okay.
I got that downloaded. just curious because that's what we need to know. Because those guys, the men in black, might come knocking on the door. You better know what those definitions are.
Anybody else have a question for me? Don't wait until I get off the line and then talk amongst yourselves and screw this thing up, okay? If you got a damn question, ask the damn thing now. Tom don't know all the damn answers, so don't try and get an answer out of him. Or half these other people out here, they don't have the answers yet. They're just guessing at sometimes when they make a statement.
So I basically have down how to do the basic paperwork for my regular trust.
No, you stay away from a regular trust. I said there is no trust in this country, and you do not want a trust. You have a reservation.
Right, getting back to the reservation now, with my DD-214 for my military service, I use the same process on that?
You need to take that DD-214 down to the county courthouse and put it into the military records.
Hey, we don't have a selective service. Do you recommend us doing this so we get protection?
What?
We don't have a selective service number. Do you recommend us doing that so we get protection?
You got to speak up.
Yeah, you're mumbling. Okay, I can't understand what you're trying to say. If you got a DD-214 form, you take it down, and I've said this for years, okay, almost about 4 or 5 years now. You take it down and put it into the county records, the military discharge record book, because that's military land records. It's a bounty land record. You put it on file at the county. It don't cost you anything. You can get certified copies of that for nothing. Now you have it recorded. You need to know what your selective service number is because that is the tribal account number for military service that is sitting there with that Office of Special Trustee.
So you recommend?
Even if you did not serve in the military, but you signed up with the selective service, you still got a selective service number, and they put funds into that account. So that account is still sitting there. But you don't have a DD-214 because you did not serve. But you still have a military number, and it shows that you have completed your obligation to the United States from your tribal standpoint to get the protections from the United States.
That's great. That's great.
So it's a requirement that we have a selective service number?
Yes, it was a requirement that you have a selective service number to prove that you basically had fulfilled your obligation, whether you served or not, that basically you were available for 7 years. Now, if you were a draft dodger, basically, and you didn't get one, well, basically, you're not going to get the protections and get your tribe off the reservation. You're going to be stuck unless you could turn around and do something and ask them, what can I do in compensation?
Patrick, when we record the selective service at the county, we can record it in the county where we're at, or do we have to go record it back where we enrolled?
You go to the county you're in right now.
Okay, good.
I've told you that before. You can put it in every fucking county in the damn country if you want to.
And what's the deadline age for the selective service?
What?
What is the deadline age that you have until you can sign up for a selective service number?
You were supposed to sign up when you turned 18, and your obligation was completed at the age of 25. It was a 7-year contract, obligation contract.
Yeah, I'm 18, so should I sign up?
Huh?
I'm 18. Should I sign up for a selective service number?
Yes. If you're 18, you've got to get down there and sign up.
I think you can pick it up at the post office. You can pick up the form.
Yeah, basically, in most cases, the whole thing can be processed right there, either at the post office or they will take it and process it through for you. But most cases, they had, when I signed up, I'm sure the guys were down the basement in the post office there when I went in. Yeah, and see, and that'll be an 11-digit number also. It'll normally be 3 digits, dash 2 digits, dash 2 digits, dash 4 digits. At least here in the state of Iowa, that's the way they've got it set up. I told you guys to listen to these calls more than one time, okay? Your minds are not tuned to what the hell they need to be tuned to, okay? You can't watch a movie and get everything out of that movie. I can guarantee you that. I've had to watch certain movies like Forrest Gump and several others at least 5-6 times before I was sure that I understood everything that was going on in those movies. And I know you were educated pretty much along the same lines I was, so basically, you're not any smarter than I am. You need to listen to things. You basically stop and write something down and then continue on.
I think it's you're smarter than us, and that's why you get so frustrated.
No, I'm not smarter than anybody else, okay? I just think a little different, okay? And that doesn't mean that I'm smarter, okay?
You put stuff together, though, Patrick, that I haven't seen anybody put it together that way, so you don't think you're giving yourself enough credit. I can't say I love you all the time, but you're pretty miraculous with putting this stuff together.
I know, I'm hateable at times, too.
No, not bad.
There's a fine line between love and hate.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. But no, I mean, basically get those others, get them notified. Call up the phone number and ask them, what do I need to do? I've got this. Can I do this? Or do I need to do something more? But don't follow what the codes say about this whole process. You can go in the code into CFR 25, and basically it will tell you some stuff about this documents that are there on Form 3. But the thing is, those what is in the CFR is for the public. You've got to try and figure out, how do I get out of the public world and into the private world? And they ain't going to tell you that in the codes. Because the codes are there to keep you in their system. Yeah, the codes won't tell you a damn thing about tribal relationship. Reestablishing that tribe relationship. But they will tell you certain things to do this and this, but you're stuck. If you're doing that, you're stuck doing it their way in the public system.
You just mentioned some things about us getting familiar with how to restore the tribal relationships with the United States. I had to take a call at that time. Was there someplace that we could learn that?
Listen to the call again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Read the Constitution. Read the Declaration of Independence.
Oh, yeah.
Read the Articles of Confederation. Read the Bill of Rights. Read some of the early treaties that they had out here with the Indian reservations out of the first volume of the statutes.
Okay. First volume of the statutes. That's good. Yeah, I understand where the other info's at on that.
No, I mean, there's other things out there, but basically, you need to understand that we're under treaties out here. And see, when you read the definition about Indians in Anderson's dictionary, you'll see some of what I'm talking about.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Anything else?
So I did my my Form 3 and 4. Can I send them in while I'm waiting to locate a tribe to be absorbed by?
Yeah. Why not? Call them up and talk to them. But I'd send them in. But you think you got it filled out right. It's your money.
Really,
okay, it's your money. It's your money. Whether you're in the public or the private, it's still your money in that account. We didn't know that the accounts that we were trying to get all this from was not in the Department of the Treasury, was not in the state of Iowa. It's being held under this office as special trustee. Under a tribal account number. A place that nobody ever would have thought of looking.
Right, it's a blessing to have stumbled across that. That was a blessing. Deacon, you will find, and ask and it will be answered type thing.
Yeah, it just so happened that basically the only document I had on my computer for the Department of Interior just happened to be a Wikipedia webpage about the Department of Interior. And then it talked about the reservations, the native reservations and everything. But it had one special area, that INSULAR area. And then when you look that up in a good dictionary, an Oxford Universal or something like that, because you're not going to find that word in Anderson's, Black's, or Bouvier's, or any of the other law dictionaries.
Insular, yeah.
And then you find out that that is a body of land that's surrounded by water. And what were you in the womb of your mother?
Yeah, body of land surrounded by water.
Yes. That was one. The second one was seeing that there was an office of special trustees sitting there. The Department of Interior, Bureau of Indian Affairs, took care of all the native Indians, and then it had this other one for all others. They're under the Office of Special Trustee. Well, what other Indians are there if they're not native Indians?
If they're not native?
They're us.
Yeah.
We're the other Indians. See, that's when you got to start thinking outside the box and looking at things slightly different than what it all appears right in front of you, and you don't see it. But it's there.
Right, and also you were familiar with the U.S. trustee before. We were all looking up the U.S. trustee, and now it's the special trustee, Office of Special Trustee. It sounds like a U.S. trustee. It's part of the Department of the Interior, so it's almost the same.
Hidden away.
The trustee was the person that was going to enforce and process.
Yeah, they're a trustee, but they're not a trustee of a trust.
Right. Yeah. Only a reservation.
Yeah, see, a trustee can be over many different things. An estate, whatever, an enterprise.
Yeah, it's synonymous with the manager, right?
Yeah, I know somebody that went to South Africa to supervise a $300 million hotel construction. And
Okay, I'm off the call. Talk to you guys later.
Okay. Thank you, Patrick.
Yeah.
Okay, so it looks like we've got some homework to do.